Alright, just driven up from Brisbane to the Gemfields, stopped at Sapphire. I'm staying at the Blue Gem Caravan Park, which is just up there. And I'm down here having a dig in Retreat Creek, which I've been told is pretty good. It's all sandy stuff, which makes it really easy. And all I'm using, well, if you're new, you probably wouldn't have this, but I've got a trommel that I've made myself. Basically the dirt goes in one end, and here it rotates around, all the sand and stuff drops out there. All the wash comes down into the bucket there, and the larger rocks that I don't want fall down there. So that's what I'm doing. You can just use sieves though, it's just a bit more work. I'm only here for a couple of days, so I'm trying to process things a bit faster. But yeah, if I get anything I'll let you know. Tomorrow morning I'm heading out to the WIllows to do a tour, so I'll show you how that goes as well. Just give you a rundown on how this trommel works. So the dirt goes in here, right, and as it spins around, it works down. All the small stuff's dropping down through the holes. All the stuff I want is sliding down the tray into the bucket. And all the stuff I don't want goes straight out the end. So that's just a faster way of processing material like this, I guess. It works for me, but whatever works for you. Obviously buying one's probably a bit expensive, especially for a beginner, but I definitely think you need something if you're really going to give it a crack. You can use throw screens, which are pretty easy to make and pretty cheap. Shaker tables as well, they work just as good. Or you can just use the sieves like I said earlier, just sieve it. Just takes longer. This helps me process more as I'm on limited time. And yeah, see how we go. Alright, just got my first little sapphire, it's a little yellow. I put 2 buckets through the trommel, just testing the top layer. Basically, I haven't dug very deep. And at the very last of those 2 buckets, I pulled this little guy. It's only tiny. I don't think it's going to focus, but small yellow, which means they're definitely here. So I guess see if there's any more in that layer and keep digging. Now what I'm talking about with the layers is they've just had a big flood through here, so all of this material here on top is obviously stuff that's washed down. Now this creek got, I think, 9 meters deep, which is huge. But imagine that, like it would have been up those banks there. So all of this stuff here is probably just washed down from further up there and been dumped here. So I just found that little sapphire in this hole. As you can see, not very deep. you know, maybe a hand depth. But in the deeper layers, so the top layer is obviously all the stuff that's just washed down. The deeper layers, there may be more stuff, and I'm just close to this bank here. I don't want to dig into the bank, I want to dig in front of it. So apparently that bank was dumped there in the 70s, I think, and I don't think there's anything in there, but there should be plenty under there, and anything getting washed up against it, I guess. We'll see. I really don't know. This is my first time coming here. I'm just going off information that I've found online and on fossicking forums and information from other miners. So I'll keep digging this, see if I can find another layer, see if I can find a bit more in this layer as well, and let you know how I go. Alright, I'm back down here in the creek this morning. Came down first thing as soon as the sun was up, digging that same hole, and I've come to a kind of harder layer in the hole, and I've just pulled this little guy sitting on top of that layer. So that harder layer, I'm guessing anything that's washed down, oh, just over there, anything that's washed down with that recent flood wouldn't have penetrated that layer yet, so it'll most likely be sitting on top, hopefully. I don't know, that's just what I'm guessing. So I'm going to dig that out a bit more and see if I can find some more of these. So this is where I'm at. Now there was a big flood through here a few weeks ago, so all of this top material would have just been washed down from that, but there's probably sapphires and stuff in it. Now this here, that's rock hard, and that goes up to here as well, and most likely goes up a bit into the bank. So I mean, any sapphires that wash down, they're not going to sink into that, it's too hard. They may do over time, but not in the last couple of weeks. So now that I'm at that layer, I'm basically going to be scraping everything just above it, maybe an inch or two above it, and putting that through the trommel, which is about the same depth that I was finding stuff yesterday. I've only got little stuff so far, but that's probably because there's nothing here that I've seen that would actually stop the sapphires. There's no reason for them to drop here. They just can't go any further than that harder surface, I guess. So it's just luck, I guess, that I'm finding them here, but I have found a few, so I'm guessing there's a few more. Which way I go depends. Like, I've gone one way this morning, and I'll put that through the sieves and see if anything comes out. Otherwise I'll probably go the other way and do a few test sieves that way as well. And if I'm not getting anything, then obviously I'll pick a different spot, but at least we know the old creek bed was pretty dry, so it's just a matter of finding that, getting down to it, and maybe looking for an obstruction under the new wash that's come down. So I'll just show you a difference between the old stuff and the new stuff. Just flip this around. So obviously the old stuff, rock hard, the new stuff, crumbly as. Alright, so yeah, that's what I'm doing this morning. Probably do one more bucket, go in that direction, and then we'll put it through and see what we get. Hopefully find some colour, and I'll show you guys. Alright, I've done about 3 sieves, and I've just got my first little bit of blue, which is right there. I know it's tiny, but it's still colour, and I mean, for people that are still learning, things like that are great. This is my bigger pile, there's literally nothing in that, you know, not finding anything in the top sieve, but the bottom sieve, at least I know there's still something here. So I'll sieve the rest of the bucket and then do a bit more digging. So this is cool. I'm just digging behind this log here, and right in my shovel I've just found this crystal clear little jelly bean. So I'll pull it out, have a wash and chuck it in the jar. You know, it's not always sapphires that you're going to find, but hey, if you like it, take it home. You know, just because people say it's not worth anything or it's a leverite, doesn't matter. If you like something, take it home. Alright, I'll just show you guys what the sandy stuff's actually like. So there's a bit in the sieve there, and it looks like it's probably enough to wash really, but once you actually start giving it a shake and getting rid of all the real loose small stuff that you don't want, it disappears pretty quickly. So this is why I use the Trommel. For this stuff here though, I would probably use more of a shaker table or a shaker stand or even a throw screen. So this stuff is just from that tree over there. Let's see if it focuses, which is just across from where I was set up anyway. There it is. So I've just dug right behind there, just a bucket, and you can see why it's important to use something to get rid of that sand. I mean, how many sieves would you go through to get an actual sieve full of material that's worth looking through? So yeah, have a look around wherever you're going, you know, do some research on what kind of material it is. If you need some equipment, places do hire them, or find somewhere online you know, that shows you how to build them. This stuff that I have, everything I've built, it wasn't expensive. Just kind of did my own designs, but they work, and yeah, it helps me get through a lot more material in the limited time I have, which I guess most people do have limited trips. So definitely look into getting some bigger equipment. Doesn't always have to be expensive. Quite easy to make your own. You don't have to be a welder or anything. You can easily make stuff out of plastic. You know, whatever works for you. Just find something that you know, that'll help you get through the stuff, I guess, and then get into it. Just shot out here to the Willows. Got a bit tired of digging in the creek. Put another 4 or 5 buckets through. Found absolutely nothing. So tried a couple of different spots. Nothing again. And it's getting a bit late in the afternoon, so figured might as well come out here and do some specking. Now I came out here yesterday and I did the tour. I don't want to video anything on the tour because that's it's not my information to share online, but I did learn a lot about the general area. Went to a lot of spots, which was good. You know, you kind of learn about the different areas here in this one area. For instance, some of these places have really shallow deposits, and some have been machine mined and then dumped, but all of that stuff, they only took the really big stuff, so there's still a lot of small things around. Now I'm just at this place, I can't remember what it's called, but doing a bit of specking, and it was one of the spots that I got brought to yesterday. And at the end of the tour yesterday, we ended up at one little location where he brought down a willoughby, some sieves, you know, whatever we needed to have a dig, and everyone had a bit of a scratch around. Found a few little pieces here and there, which was all good. I mean, it's targeted at newbies. You're not going to find, well, you might if you're lucky, but it's not very likely that you'll find something very big in that spot. But if you're just getting into it and you've only got a day, you don't have to be new. Maybe you just want to learn more about this area in general and be able to come back here another time and set up a big trip, which is what I was wanting to do. Come and do the tour. I'll just show you the brochure here. So it's WIllows, Gemfields, fossicking, fossicking and specking tours, equipment hire and gem sales. So he offers a few things. I found him on Facebook, which is, you know, how I contacted him after last time when I stopped off here for one night and had a look around, had a scratch, found absolutely nothing. Came back and saw him, and just I learned what I needed to learn to give me the confidence to plan a proper trip to come back here and give it a good crack. But just as I'm here now, like this is my last afternoon, so I'm just doing a bit of specking, and I'm going through these old tailings. I'll just flip the camera. So these tailings here, I've got my little jar there. I've already found 3 little bits of sapphire in this little pile. Now, a lot of people won't take the little pieces because they're not cutters, but for someone like me that just loves the color of sapphire, like, I'm more than happy. And I just thought I'd show you. So when I spec, I get right down to the ground. Now I don't know if you can see that, it's just there. Where is this? Right there at the tip of my finger is a little green. So you can see it's quite small. I'll just zoom back out. That's what it looks like normally. And I'm just getting right down to the ground and having a look. That's how tiny it is. So there's stuff here if you want to find colour and don't want to have a dig, don't have a lot of time. You know, I'll only be here for a few hours, then go back and start packing up my camp and getting ready to head off in the morning. Now, you probably can't see it there, and it is right there. It's not much to see, but it's definitely the biggest bit I've got so far. Let's see if I can focus. So I mean, it's not much, but it's something. You know, just lying right there on the ground. And I think I spotted another one before, which I'll have to have a look. Is that it? Yeah, so there's another little piece there. You know, within a short distance of each other. But yeah, so I've got a fair few little bits so far, but these 2 now are definitely the biggest ones. Just come a nice little bit here. Should be able to see that just in there in the middle of the screen. That is a nice colour. If it was a bit bigger, it'd be beautiful. But that'll do. Hey guys, so I made it back from the Gemfields last night. It's pretty knackered. Just drove all the way back to Brisbane. Thought I'd show you everything that I found. Now that I'm looking at everything, like, it doesn't look too bad. Like, I'm pretty happy with what I brought back. Obviously would like some bigger stuff, but you know, it is what it is. It's all good. So I've just got them here, separated into 2 little groups, one from the creek and one from the Willows. So I'll just flip this around and show you what I've got. So this stuff here is the creek stuff. Now I've got it on a mirror and just shining a light over it, and it just helps to see a bit of that colour, helps it shine out. Obviously there's that big jelly bean. Well, it's not big, but it's bigger than everything else. Nice little green next to it, and all of this stuff just came out of that creek area. This stuff here was everything I got from the Willows. So I mean, putting it all together, I'm generally pretty happy with the amount of time that I actually had digging. You know, I'd love to have more time, but maybe when I get up there next, you know, I'll be able to find something a bit better. But yeah, pretty happy with that. I mean, if you were a first timer up there, I'm sure you'd be pretty happy with that too. I did meet a lot of people from Brisbane up there who had never fossicked before, and they were struggling to find anything. So hopefully this video can show people and help them out to find a bit. Like I said, I'm no professional. I'm pretty much a beginner myself, but if I can find it, surely anyone else can find it. If you get up there and you find some stuff, send me some pics. Post your pics in the videos or whatever and tag me in it. Send it to my Facebook page. Just anything, you know, I'd love to see what you guys are finding as well. If you're from there and you have any tips you want to share for people, please put it in the comments. You know, I'm sure people would love to get some information on the general area or other areas up there. So yeah, thanks for watching. See you guys next time.